The bigger driver of our growth is our ability to convert cash. And there's about 17 trillion in cash on the consumer side around the world that still remains to be digitized, which is a large number. And then there's 20 trillion or so in what we call the B2B world, which can use the solutions we already have. And then there's a larger opportunity there over time. So credit is just one component, and the credit cycle is just one component of what might affect us. The bigger mega trend is really the digitization of cash.
The big opportunity here in the United States, quite clearly, is contactless payment. As a Brit that came over here and used contactless in the store, they look at me like I'm a magician. They've never seen it before. Why is the United States so far behind Europe when it comes to contactless payments?
Yeah, and as someone who's used contactless, it's such a no-brainer, right? I mean, the first time you use contactless, you're hooked on it. It is such an easy way to pay that anywhere in the world where contactless exists, people are giving up their phones as payment mechanisms and just tapping their card. In fact, in Australia today, it's hard to imagine, 94% of all transactions, 94%, face-to-face are contactless. In the UK, it's rapidly climbing into the 70s. In Canada, it's accelerating. So the thing about the US is that the setup here from a merchant standpoint has been somewhat more fragmented from a technology standpoint. The first step was to get everybody on the EMV chip. Now that that's done, that was really laying the groundwork for contactless. So today, for example, 50 of the 100 largest merchants have actually enabled their terminals to accept contactless. What you now need is a card that can be a contactless card. And at least US consumers will start to get these cards, hopefully in the fall, as cards are replaced or lost and so on, and they get new cards. You will see contactless cards. And typically what you see is the first couple of years, it'll be slow to start. We saw that in the UK, we saw that in Australia, and then it really takes off because consumers love it. It is easily something that consumers vote with their cards or whatever you call it. The tapping is behavior that just catches on extremely fast.
Are you struggling to convince the banks to roll out these cards?
No, it's not really a struggle as much as EMV was something everybody was working on in the US. It took a while to get EMV going. All the cards in the US now have EMV chips, and by the way, that just significantly reduced fraud. So there was a clear benefit. And we are telling the banks about the experience in Australia, the experience in the UK. And what happens with contactless is that it is such a huge consumer benefit that people just use their cards a lot more.